She told me she wanted a divorce as casually as someone might ask for another cup of coffee. 15 years of marriage ended with a simple statement across our kitchen table. No emotion. No explanation. Just blunt words. I'm done. I've found someone else. Her eyes stayed fixed on me, as though she expected shouting, tears, maybe even begging. But instead, I looked straight back at her, calm, almost smiling. If that's what you want, I replied, signing the papers without a trace of hesitation. My restraint unsettled her far more than any display of anger ever could. She mistook my silence for surrender, unaware that I was already setting the stage. 15 years of memories, laughter, whispered promises in the dark, the life we built together, had once seemed like an unshakable foundation. I had given her stability, stood beside her through every fleeting passion, and poured devotion into a marriage she never fully honored. Over time, I saw the signs. The late-night messages. The distance in her touch. The shift wasn't random. It was deliberate. She wasn't just entertaining someone new. She was replacing me. The betrayal stung, but what cut deeper was her assumption that I was blind. Weak. When I followed her one evening, my suspicions hardened into truth. She met him at our restaurant, even slid into our booth, smiling as though I'd never existed. But I didn't storm inside. I didn't cause a scene. Outbursts are wasted energy. Silence, on the other hand, sharpens resolve. So I watched. I listened. I gathered everything I needed. He was smug, overconfident, the kind of man who believed the game was already won. But in my patience, I found more than proof of their affair. I uncovered her deepest secret. The one she thought she had buried forever. Our daughter. 15 years old. My pride, my heart, my reason for enduring everything. But doubts I had long ago silenced came flooding back. Her features never quite mirrored mine. I had ignored the whispers in my head because love made me blind. But the DNA test shattered that illusion. She wasn't mine. She was his. That revelation didn't break me. It forged me. My grief turned to steel. I sat with my lawyer, deliberate and composed. Together, we dismantled everything she thought she'd walk away with. Accounts were locked. Assets divided to my favor. Custody, finances, her carefully polished image, all restructured with precision. She thought freedom meant walking away untouched. Instead, I left her clinging to nothing but appearances. And then I waited. Waited for the night she would celebrate her new life with him. The same restaurant where she had once sworn her vows to me. The irony was almost poetic. I entered with measured calm, each step deliberate. They were mid-laugh, glasses raised, her face glowing as it once did for me. His hand covered hers, his grin smug, triumphant. When they noticed me, her smile wavered. His only widened. I approached without a word and placed an envelope on the table. To your freedom, I said evenly. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. The color drained from her face. He snatched the papers from her, scanning quickly. The DNA results. Proof that the daughter I had raised and loved was his. Proof that their affair had started far earlier than either of them wanted the world to know. The restaurant fell silent, the air thick with curiosity as heads turned their way. She tried to speak. Please, it's not. But her voice cracked, betraying her. His arrogance shattered into fury. You told me she was his, he snapped, shoving his chair back. She reached for him, desperate, but he recoiled. Whispers swept through the room as their carefully crafted facade collapsed in real time. I stood there, steady, unflinching, watching the empire of lies crumble. You wanted freedom, I said softly, almost gently. Now it's yours. Then I walked away, leaving them drowning in the wreckage. Outside, the night was crisp, the air clean against my lungs. I felt lighter than I had in years. People imagine revenge as loud, violent, chaotic. They're wrong. The most effective revenge is silent, precise, leaving no stain on your hands, just ruin in its wake. I lost a wife who was never truly mine, a daughter who was never mine to claim. But in their place, I gained something greater: clarity, control, and freedom that no one could take. She demanded a divorce. I delivered devastation. He inherited the burden he once mocked me for carrying. 15 years were stolen from me, but the rest of his life was stolen from him. I have no regrets. justice doesn't always live in courtrooms. Sometimes, it comes from a quiet man with patience, intellect, and the resolve to wait for the perfect moment. And when that moment arrived, I didn't just take revenge, I reclaimed myself.